All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Starlight Beacon Transmissions Live. This is episode 20. This is our live show. Again, for those of you that have been wondering about the podcast episodes, we are going to be dropping those this week. I've had some really hectic weeks at work recently, so yeah, I apologize for not releasing those episodes, but they will be coming this week. You are going to get three episodes this week in podcast form, so that is going to be huge. I want to say welcome to everybody. I hope that you are having a wonderful weekend. Hope that you had a wonderful week. If not, hopefully tonight you'll have a good time. Even if you have had a wonderful week, I hope that tonight that you have a good time. As always, we are coming to you live from the Starlight Beacon Transmissions recording studio, aka the living room of my apartment. And hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Got a great show for you tonight. We are going to be talking about, of course, episode 13 of Star Wars The Bad Batch. We are going to be getting into that here shortly, but we are also going to be talking about all of the High Republic news that just came out of the San Diego Comic Con at Home High Republic panel, which is which was absolutely incredible. All of that news that came out is fantastic, and I can't wait for you guys to hear all of that. As you know, all of us here at the show, we are huge fans of the High Republic, and we just think that it's just an absolutely wonderful story, and we cannot wait to see more of it unfold. So that is just going to be a lot of fun. So actually, let's get into it. We have a lot to cover. I also have quick announcements here that I'm going to be dropping here very soon. So stay tuned for that. That is coming up here very shortly. But let's get into all of the fun here. So, as I stated just a few minutes ago, San Diego Comic Con at Home is going on this weekend. And with it, we had a panel from Lucasfilm Publishing covering Star Wars The High Republic. And we had all five of our writers on this panel. We had Who Loves Omega? We Love Omega. Happy birthday, John. Happy birthday, buddy. I'm going to get into Omega here very soon, so don't worry. That's coming. But as I said, we had all five High Republic writers during this panel. So you had Justina Ireland, Claudia Gray, Daniel Jose Alder, Kevin Scott, and Charles Soule. And they're talking about all of the projects that they've worked on, as well as all of the stuff that they are going to be working on, and that's coming out. And it was just a really cool panel. So we have a release date for Phase 3 of the High Republic that is going to be January of next year. That's going to be January 2022 that we get High Republic Wave 1 Phase 3, which is going to be pretty epic. This is going to be the end of Phase 1. And they are teasing us with this ominous saying that the light of the Jedi goes out. So we are just going to have to brace ourselves. So, of course, leading up to Phase 3, or Wave 3, I should say, We're still going to have Kevin Scott's monthly Marvel series, The High Republic, as well as Daniel Jose Alder's The High Republic Adventures. However, we have heard that there are a few new comics coming out. Excuse me, I almost yawned there for a second. We heard that there are a few new comics coming out, which is pretty cool. And we have Daniel Jose Alder is doing a noir type Star Wars comic that deals with a Jedi that's also a detective, which is pretty cool. And then Kevin Scott is writing a miniseries for IDW, which is the High Republic Adventures, uh, the Monster of Temple Peak, I believe it's called. So there is that. Kevin Scott also wrote a High Republic audio drama called Tempest Runner, which is going to deal with Lorna D, who is one of the Tempests in the Nile, and that's going to focus on her, which is going to be very entertaining. I believe that is. Let me just make sure. I think that's this month or next month coming up. Tempest Runner release date. Yes, so it's going to be the end of August that we get that, which is going to be fantastic. That's going to be available on Audible, Google Play Books, what have you, wherever you get your audiobooks. Excuse me, I'm sorry for yawning. It's kind of been a long day. But wherever you get your audiobooks, that will be available. And that is going to be a fantastic audio drama. As well as in on Tuesday, we are also getting Justina Ireland's High Republic book, which is Out of the Shadows. That's going to deal with Vernestra Rowe, Wreath Silas. Hey, how's it going? That's going to deal with Vernestra Rowe, Wreath Silas, Comac Vetus. Emery is going to be back. Hey, Bitter, how's it going? Thank you for dropping by for our Star Wars show. So that book is really cool. Okay, so I'm getting it on Tuesday from Amazon. It will be here Tuesday from Amazon. I was just at my local comic book store and I saw it there available, and I almost picked it up tonight. I almost canceled my Amazon order to pick this one up because I'm just really, really excited to read Justina Ireland's High Republic book. But you know, it's okay Uh, if I have to wait until Tuesday, it's fine. So we have that coming to us. We have Justina Ireland's manga coming, which is Edge of Balance, which is going to take place at a Jedi Temple outpost. So we actually get to see life in a Jedi Temple outpost. We kind of saw a little bit of it in Light of the Jedi. We kind of saw a little bit of it in Race to Crash Point Tower, which was Daniel Jose Alder's novel that just came out. And you know, you get these little glimpses of life in these Jedi outposts, but we are really going to get it in this manga. So definitely recommend Edge of Balance. So actually, let's get into, well, there's my YouTube page. Let's get into some of the highlights from the High Republic panel. We have Tempest Runner here, which is Kevin Scott's audio drama, as I said. This is going to deal with the Twi'lek, Nile, Tempest Runner, Lorna D, which is going to be just a huge, huge audio drama. Can't wait to get through that. We also have the High Republic Adventures Free Comic Book Day. That's right, Free Comic Book Day this year is going to be in August. So we are going to be getting this little ditty here from IDW. Free Comic Book Day, Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures. We have We have Lula and Zine, and then we have Ram Jamaran, who was the main character in Daniel Jose Alder's Race to Crash Point Tower. So that's good. Here is Edge of Balance, which is Justina Ireland's manga, which is just, I mean, just look at those lightsabers. Those lightsabers are absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to see the artwork in this manga. Um, so we found out that Justina Ireland's next middle grade novel is going to be called Mission to Disaster. So that's not ominous at all, to quote Justina Ireland, which is going to be just wild. If you read The Rising Storm, you know that the Republic Fair has happened, and let's just say some stuff happened. Wayfinder, Wayfinder. I know that you and I know that you and I are not emotionally okay after Cavan Scott's The Rising Storm. That book, oh boy. Oh man, that book ended in such a sad way, I will say. Um, it was, I mean, it was such a great book, and the ending is just amazing and such a great cliffhanger. But it was just tough. It was a little, it was a little rough when it comes to when it comes to the book. But it was a great ending. We did a spoiler review of that last week. So the Republic Fair happened, and let's just say that it did not go according to plan. Then they talked to Charles Soule, and he was talking about writing Light of the Jedi. And we find out that Charles Soule is writing a Markian Row. This is Markian Row right here. He is the leader of the Nile. Charles Soule is writing a Markian Row two-issue miniseries that is going to be called The Eye of the Storm, which is going to be a pretty cool miniseries. Hey, Twisted, how's it going? Which is going to be a pretty cool miniseries. He wrote The Rise of Kylo Ren, which was an incredible miniseries that he did for Marvel, and it actually has some ties into the High Republic here. With we find out that Snoke is on the Amaxine station where the events of Into the Dark take place, which is Claudia Gray's High Republic. You could say it's a young adult novel, but to me, it really read like an adult Star Wars novel, and it's just a fantastic book. And then we're also introduced to the Drengir in that one. If you're unfamiliar with the Drengir, they are sentient plants that love to eat people, and they are steeped in the dark side of the Force. So I'm just gonna let you have that one. So they were talking to Claudia Gray, or Christina Ariel was talking to Claudia Gray, and they asked her what her favorite character to write was, and she came up with Geode. Now, if you don't know who Geode is, I'm gonna show you a picture. This right here, this right here is Geode. Um, he is a sentient rock. Sure. Oh, sure. So, let me just finish my thought here real quick, and I will fill you in. So, yeah, so Claudia Gray was talking about Geode. who is a sentient rock, who's a navigator on the vessel. He made his debut in Into the Dark, which is Claudia Gray's High Republic novel. Okay, so to answer your question, Tess, and I just want to say to all of our new viewers, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button. Let me actually get to this. That's your favorite rock. he's he's great. He's great, and he has some of the funniest moments in the book because he doesn't talk at all. Rock on, Geode, rock on. Nice. All right, so let me just explain this. We are Starlight Beacon Transmissions. My name is Eric Mitchell. I am your host. Well, one of your hosts. I normally do this with another co-host named Dana Rodriguez, but she is out of town lately. She's out of town for a little bit, so she isn't going to be around for a while. So I'm going to be flying solo for a little bit, and that's how I started this podcast back in January. We cover all things Star Wars. For a while, we were covering just mainly the High Republic. That was like the big news at the time. Bazinga, thanks for reminding me to subscribe. Absolutely. Like I said, if you're new here, please subscribe. So, we were talking about the High Republic, which, if you're unfamiliar with the High Republic, this is the brand new storytelling initiative that launched in January. This storytelling initiative branches books, comic books, manga, short stories, and Star Wars Insider, all sorts of stuff. And this story takes place during the height of the Republic, the height of the Jedi Order. This is 200 years before we even get to the Skywalker saga. And I have a feeling that at some point during this High Republic story, we're going to get to the start of the fall of the Republic and the start of the fall of the Jedi Order. I believe that the things that happen in this story are going to cement the things that happen in the prequel trilogy. So we cover that. We cover The Bad Batch, which is the Star Wars animated series that is on Disney Plus, which John constantly reminds me that I love Omega so much. And John, it's your birthday, so I'm going to let you have this one. But you know how I feel about Omega. You know how I feel about Omega. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Uh, so anyway, let me get back into this. And then we cover movies. Where we cover it all. We talk about all of it. Um, I know that when we get, you mean the Omega Batch? It really is the Omega Batch. I called it the Dad Batch for a while. But it is the Omega Batch right now. So we're actually going to get into the Bad Batch towards the end of the show here. Omega, Teak, Hunter, Rika, Eco. Um, I had to do that. So we have all of that. Like I said, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. We are also going to be dropping our audio episodes on this Wednesday. I have 3 episodes to drop this Wednesday, including this one. So I'm going to be doing that. And we just love to hang out and talk Star Wars. So since we have a few people here, I want to make this announcement real quick, and then we're going to jump right back into the High Republic stuff. Um, we here at the show are going to be starting a Star Wars tabletop RPG show. Uh, I'm still working out the details. It's probably going to hit middle to end of August, most likely end of August. I still need to get some players together. So if you're interested, someone has been practicing their Omega accent. Oh, yeah, I definitely have. So if you are interested in playing the Star Wars tabletop RPG, please give us a follow on Twitter, DM us, let us know, and we will get in charge. And well, we will get in charge. We will get in touch with you about getting things together for the show. So please just let me know if you want to play. We're going to be using the Fate system, which is actually a 2d6 system that is based more on narrative. So, like when you roll, your actions are going to be a 2d6. So, anything ranging from 1 to 4 is going to be a failure when it comes to your rolls. If you roll a 5 through 8, you succeed, but something happens. If you roll a 9 through 12, then it's a automatic success. I will plug our Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter at SB Transmissions. Once again, that is at SB Transmissions. You can follow us on Twitter there. We are going to be setting up an Instagram and Facebook as well. But going back to the system for the RPG show, players will also have fate points, which they can use for advantages and as well as getting out of certain situations. Players will start with 3 fate points, and if they use their fate points, or well, if they don't use their fate points, they will carry over. So fate points will carry over. Players will always find a way, will always earn fate points depending on what they do. Even if you just make me laugh, I might give you a fate point just to give you a fate point. Those will give you advantages in rolling or getting out of situations. So we're still putting together this setting, or we're still getting everything together. I will tell you that the setting, and John, you are going to love this, buddy. We are going to the Old Republic for our setting. We are going to be thousands of years in the past. We're going to be tackling the Jedi Sith War. We're going to be tackling all of it. I mean, it's so much fun. Fate's a great system. Like I said, it's mostly narration. When it comes to like combat rolls and stuff, you don't have to roll initiative, which is amazing. If you are in combat, you still roll the 2d6 and say like you're hiding behind cover and there's a stormtrooper on the other side of that cover or a trooper on the other side of that cover, and you say, all right, well, I want to lean over and shoot him in the head. All right, roll your 2d6. Okay, you rolled a 9. Yeah, you successfully do that. Yes, John, if you want to join in, you know how to get a hold of me, and we'll definitely do that. So we are definitely going into the Old Republic. I still need to figure out a name for the show, but we're getting there. So I wanted to make that announcement. It is super super fun, and it's just going to be so much fun. And I hope that you guys tune in for it. If you want to play, like I said, reach out to us via Twitter, all of that fun stuff, and we will get it together. We will get things together here. So I just wanted So I want to get back to the High Republic real quick, since we are still in this time period. So let me go back to the highlights from the SDCC High Republic publishing panel. So we have this we have this lovely picture here, and if you can't read it, it's fine. So this is the beginning of. So this is going to be wave 3 of phase 1 of the High Republic. So this is the end of phase 1 of the High Republic. So we are getting Eye of the Storm, which is Charles Soule's Marvel miniseries. We're getting Mission to Disaster, which is Justina Ireland's young adult novel. We're getting Midnight Horizon, which is Daniel Jose Alder's young adult novel. And we are getting Claudia Gray writing the Del Rey novel, which is the adult Star Wars novel the Fallen Star. So this week on Twitter, I have seen people starting to speculate about what the Fallen Star means. And I I don't want to agree with what they're saying, but I can't help but agree with what they're saying. I feel that with the falling star or fallen star, we're going to get the destruction of my beloved Starlight Beacon Station. And I do not want to see that happen. Uh, I I've already okay, Cavan Scott already wrecked me. And I have a feeling that Claudia Gray is just going to pick up where Cavan Scott left off and just said, "Hey, you like this place? Well, guess what? Now it's destroyed. Hey, you like that character? Don't get attached because now they're dead." Uh they are not afraid to pull any punches when it comes to this series. And I think that it's a lot of fun. I love the direction the series is going. I love the characters so far in the High Republic. If you have not, like I said, if you have not checked out the High Republic yet, please do yourself a favor and check it out. I think that you will really enjoy it. It's set, like I said, it's set 200 years before the prequel trilogy. So I just want to give a spoiler-free review of Daniel Jose Alder's Race to Crash Point Tower, which is the second book in this current phase of the High Republic. This was more of the younger reader novel, but it was still very entertaining, still had a lot of great Star Wars action. And here we got to really get to know Ram Jamaram. This takes place during the Republic Fair on the planet Valo. We got to really know these characters. We have some characters from the High Republic Adventures coming into this book as well. We have Vernestra Rowe from Justina Ireland's A Test of Courage coming into this book. Uh, it's it's such a fun read. It's an action-packed read, and it's really cool to see all of these writers just coming together to tell this story and how it's for people of all ages. So for like the adults, we have the Del Rey novels and we have the Marvel comic and the IDW comic, and I would say that for the kids too. Um, Depending on their reading level, depending on all of that, you can definitely like recommend all these books for younger readers. They've even done these storybooks for kids that have had stickers. We had the Great Jedi Rescue, which was Cavan Scott's adaptation of like the first third of Light of the Jedi, and now we have Trouble at the Fair coming, which is George Mann's adaptation of like the back half of the Rising Storm, essentially. And like I said, all of these writers are fantastic. Daniel Jose Alder wrote the hell out of Race to Crash Point Tower. It was a phenomenal read. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what he does next. And like I said, Tuesday we're getting Out of the Shadows from Justina Ireland, which is going to be just a fantastic book. So that is it for the High Republic. But we have a couple of other news things to go through before we get to the Bad Batch. So we just found out that The Mandalorian Season 3 is actually in production right now, or is about to be in production. And so I have to ask this question, and chat, you can speculate and you can answer this question too, but I want to pose this question. With The Mandalorian Season 3, will we shift focus to the liberation of Mandalore finally against the Empire, or are we still just gonna traverse around and do all of these side quests? If you know me, I am a huge fan of The Mandalorian. I think it's a wonderful TV series, well written. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, once again, Knock it out of the park. Excuse me, I need some water real quick, and sorry for the close up. But it's a wonderful series full of just amazing characters and just a great story. I hope that I'm going to probably lose some of you here, but I have to say this anyway. I hope that we don't see Grogu anymore. I've had, as much as I love Grogu, I am ready for the show to move on from that character. He's with Luke Skywalker now, and I think that that's where he should stay. Because that's also going to help build to that failure that Luke has in that flashback in The Last Jedi, and it's only going to help cement the Luke Skywalker character further. So here's hoping that we just shift focus to the liberation of Mandalore, as well as who's finally going to wield the dark saber. Um, we are also probably going to get Sabine Wren, I think, in season 3 of The Mandalorian. I wouldn't be surprised if we also got Ezra Bridger in season 3 of The Mandalorian, but I have a feeling that they are probably going to save Ezra for the Ahsoka show, especially with him being with Grand Admiral Thrawn. I am kind of spoiling Rebels. If you haven't watched Star Wars Rebels, I apologize. So there's that. I also have another piece of news here, or a speculation, and that is when are we going to get the Kenobi trailer and the Andor trailer? So this is tough. And so somebody had asked me this, and I wanted to bring this up in the show, and I wanted to talk about this a little bit. So for the Kenobi trailer, because they're filming it right now, or they might have almost wrapped filming. For Kenobi, I wouldn't be surprised if we got that trailer at Celebration, and then for it to air probably early June from after Celebration. We could get a teaser right before or after the Book of Boba Fett. It's kind of hard to tell. With Andor, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the trailer in October. Because I have a feeling that that might be the January release or the February release that they have. It also depends on if they greenlight Bad Batch Season 2, which I have a feeling they probably have greenlit Bad Batch Season 2. I haven't seen any news yet, but I have a feeling that they probably have. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get the Andor trailer in October, and then Kenobi during Celebration, because I just have a feeling that like Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni will probably be like, "Oh, hey, guess what? Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor are here, and they're here to promote Kenobi." Oh, okay, cool. Like, what a surprise. And then they drop the trailer there, and then they say, "Hey, guess what? You can watch this in June on Disney Plus. It's going to be 6 to 8 episodes. They're going to be about an hour each, probably, something like that." But let us know what you guys, or let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear you guys. Love to hear your opinions on that. And that's what I have now. So we talked about the High Republic, talked about our RPG show, which is going to be awesome. Like I said, if you want to play in the RPG show, please send us a DM on Twitter, email the show, do whatever, and we'll check that and we'll get in touch and we'll set some stuff up. Like I said, I'm trying to shoot for the end of August. I already have one player set up. And I'm super, super excited to do the DMing or GMing, I should say, for this RPG. So, yes, I will be the GM. Uh, I'm looking for 3 other players. So if you are interested, like I said, hit us up on Twitter, email the show. Um, but like I said, I also just wanted to send out some of that speculation. So let's get into our main event, which I would say this whole show is a main event. And whatever you guys want to talk about, if you guys want to talk about something else in Star Wars, put it in the chat and we'll talk. We have as much time as you want tonight. Whatever you guys want to hang out and talk, whatever you want in Star Wars, we'll do it. Just no gatekeeping, no toxicity, no misogyny, none of that. This is a safe space for Star Wars fans, so let's all just hang out and have a good time. So let's get into episode 13 of the Bad Batch. Yes, we are 13 episodes into the Bad Batch now. And the episode is entitled Infestation. And we have the Bad Batch. It opens with the Bad Batch coming in, and they are coming back to Ord Mantell after a job for Sid. They completed a job for Sid, and they're walking towards Sid's cantina, to which they enter the cantina and find out that Sid is no longer in charge. Somebody else has taken over, and I forget the guy's name. I am not really going to look him up, and I apologize. But I mean, the guy, he's important, but he wasn't like super important to me. Because we all know that Omega is like the main character of the show right now. Nothing against Omega. I just don't really like the character. So, anyway, you're going to go ahead and say this is the worst episode so far. Yeah, John, I actually agree with that. I think that this episode just was not that good. Um, it the episode feels all over the place, and I'm gonna get to that as we continue on here. But this episode just felt all over the place. You would think by episode 13 we would be establishing some sort of end game, but it just still feels like we're just doing this by week basis. And yeah, it's entertaining. I mean, the show's entertaining and it's fun because it's Star Wars and I enjoy it, but this episode just was not that good. Yeah, it does feel like filler. It just and like I said, at the 13th episode in a 16 episode season, we shouldn't be having filler right now. We should be setting up the finale for this season. We should be starting to set up the finale for the season, and we haven't done that. I think the last episode started to set things up, especially with Crosshair being let off the leash essentially by Rampart to really track the Bad Batch. But when it comes to this episode, it's fun. I had a good time watching it. I really liked the tie-ins to Solo with the Pikes being involved. But other than that, it's fun. It's an okay episode. Um, this was definitely the Monster of the Week episode, and yeah, but let's get into it. So this guy takes over Sid's operation, and Sid has an idea to take her operation back by stealing containers of spice that are in her office. And so she devises this plan that takes the batch underground, and they have to manually maneuver these mining carts through like this underground shaft, essentially. And they can't run the carts at all, or these this infestation of these bugs will end up like attacking them. So they like get through this section that has the infestation and they grab the spice, but as they grab the spice and start to escape, the pikes or this bad guy and his goons find out what happened, and so they chase down the batch in these mining tunnels to get the spice, and then the batch end up like dumping the spice in this nest. Hey, Katie, how's it going? In this nest, and they end up, they end up like going away, and then the guy catches up to him, and he says, "Well, you don't know how the pikes are, and I have to keep Omega." He takes Omega hostage essentially, so that the Batch and Sid can retrieve these cargo containers of spice that are in this bug nest. And I mean, you can put two and two together from here. They end up retrieving it, but then it awakens the bugs. And so, like, the Bad Batch find out that the bugs don't like the light. So they throw a light bomb into this thing, which causes, like, all the bugs to scatter and. Uh, which causes these bugs to scatter. And so they're able to retrieve the spice and. Oh, wait, the Pikes take Omega hostage. That's right, the Pikes take Omega hostage. So they meet back up with the Pikes, deliver the spice to them. They get Omega back. Sid gets her place back. And then this guy gets his horn cut off. And I mean, I was paying attention to the episode, but I just. Like I said, I love this show. I think the Bad Batch, when they're introduced in season 7 of the Clone Wars, are awesome. I think the team itself is fantastic. D. Bradley Baker is an amazing voice artist or voice actor when it comes to these characters, giving them all their personalities. But as you can just tell, like, I guess I'm. I guess I'm just frustrated with the direction of this show. I just I don't want to say that the show doesn't have an identity, but I think it struggles with its identity. And I think that, like I said, we shouldn't be doing these filler episodes 4 episodes before with 4 episodes left in the season. Well, now 3 episodes left in the season. We shouldn't be doing this. The last 3 episodes before this one were fantastic because they were starting to set all this stuff up, and we got to see the Bad Batch being the A team in space, essentially, which is what we were told this show was eventually, or what this show was going to be. And now we're doing Monster of the Week. Like, it just, honestly, it just doesn't make sense. And I don't know. I don't want to feel like I don't want it to seem like I'm bashing on the show because I'm not. Like I said, it's very entertaining. It's beautifully animated, beautifully acted, and it's had some of the best action sequences I've seen in a long time in a Star Wars thing. But come on, we should know what your end game is here, and we just don't know it. And I don't know. I mean, if you guys want to chime in and you guys want to talk about it real quick, do it. Let me know what you think of the Bad Batch. I know John was telling me that he felt that it was filler, and yeah, it just feels that way. I like right now, and this is no knock on the team, that is doing this, or Dave Filoni, or anybody involved with the Bad Batch, but honestly, I feel like I should be talking about the High Republic right now, because I feel like I'm getting more from the High Republic than I am from the Bad Batch. I could also be talking OB transmissions, Omega bashing transmissions. John, you get me, buddy. You get me. And if Dana was here, I think Dana would be agreeing with me. Like tonight, I should also be talking about Shadowfall, the second book in the Alphabet Squadron trilogy, which I am still going through. But if you are looking for another great book, Alexander Freed's Alphabet Squadron trilogy is absolutely incredible. This is the second book in the trilogy. Highly recommend it. After I read this, I'm going to be doing a deep spoiler dive in this. Um, I'm also going to be doing a deep spoiler dive into Justina Ireland's book. But anyway, like I said, I just feel like I should be talking about something else because I'm just so underwhelmed with this show. Um, like the last three episodes, like I said, were fantastic. Dealing with Hera and her childhood was just amazing, and how like the Empire has just like how the Empire has interfered and with people and given them this false sense of security, and we're starting to see these rebellions form, and with the Bad Batch working for Sid, we're starting to see more of the criminal underworld. Well, are you going to give us the formation of these rebellions, or are you going to give us the formation of the criminal underworld? And that's another thing that I think this show struggles with, because just give me the formation of the criminal underworld. You have the opportunity here. We all know Maul is alive. Show us more of Crimson Dawn. Like, spoiler alert if you didn't watch Clone Wars or Solo, Darth Maul is alive. um, but we know Maul's alive at this time. You can shift this to focus on the criminal underworld and do like a 4 episode arc on Crimson Dawn, and like bring, well, you can't bring Kira into it because Kira won't really show up until like a few years later down the line. But you can have Maul like meeting Dryden Voss, or like Maul with Dryden Voss or somebody. Like, just find your identity when it comes to the show. And I don't think I'm wrong here. And if I am, if I'm overstepping my bounds, let me know. But I just feel like this is just, I, I don't know. I am I gonna not stop watching the show? No. It's like I said, it's entertaining enough, and I like watching it week to week. But if you give the Bad Batch season 2, you need to hit the ground running. Like seriously, you need to hit the ground running. And this show started off so strong, but it's like fizzled. It fizzled for a little bit, then got strong again, and now it's fizzling again. And I'm just tired of the show just going all over the place, and just tell me one cohesive story. Just tell me one cohesive story. I'm just frustrated. If you can tell, I'm just frustrated with the show. I think that, like I said, there's a lot of talented people there, and I love those. I love their talent. I love being entertained week to week. However, this might go down as one of the weaker Star Wars animated series. because you had Clone Wars, which was an incredible show. Um, it told this epic story. It was emotional, and it was just a fantastic show. You had Star Wars Rebels that did the same thing. Rebels, if you have not watched Star Wars Rebels, do yourself a favor. It is such an incredible show. It's animated beautifully, it's acted beautifully. John is the biggest Freddie Prince Jr. fan due to Star Wars Rebels. He understands what I just said. Um, but it was just such a beautiful show, and I can't wait. It's just incredible. Um, Resistance was even good. Resistance took place during the sequel trilogy, but this one, like I said, it started off so strong, and yet it's kind of fallen by the wayside. And I really wish Dana was here because I think Dana would also express my frustration. Uh, because she understands. But it's okay. It's okay. And I'm gonna say this: if you are a Star Wars fan, you don't have to like everything from Star Wars. You don't. It's fine. There's a lot of people that like everything, and and that's great. And then there's people that just like the original trilogy, and that's fine. Or people just like the Clone Wars, and that's fine. Just don't be toxic about it. Just don't gatekeep. Just don't be a dick. Um, just enjoy it. For me, I just feel like the Bad Batch is just gonna be like one of those things. Yeah, I watch it. It's entertaining, but yeah, it's okay. You know, it's okay. I just feel like when it comes to this show, and this might have been me too, where I honestly I think my expectations for the show were too high. That's on me. You know, others love the show to death, and they have the same expectations I did, and they feel that it exceeds it. That's cool. You enjoy it, that's fine. I'm not gonna stand in your way of enjoying something. But I don't know. I just feel like these next three episodes are gonna make or break the show. Excuse me, real quick. Sorry, my cat is deciding that she wants to get a drink of water out of my wife's cup. Excuse me, I'm back. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Am I reading too into it? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. That's what we're here. We're here for the lively discussion. We're here to talk about this stuff. I kind of want to go back to what I was talking about with recommending books and stuff, especially if you're a Star Wars fan that hasn't really read Star Wars books. Um, what is up with my hair? There we go. Random, I know. But I would love to talk about that. So I'm going to be doing a more in-depth episode at some point very soon about Star Wars books and which ones you should read, which ones to avoid, stuff like that. And I feel like I'm rambling right now. And if I am, I apologize. I'm just trying to just make this feel like a conversation and just trying to make this feel like, I don't know, a casual get together. So I just think it's funny that, like I said, I don't hate the Bad Batch. For those of you that think I hate the Bad Batch, I don't. I truly do not hate the show. I just feel that it could just be better. That's all I'm going to say about the Bad Batch. So let's get back into the book stuff. And if you want to hear more about the RPG show and some of my plans for the RPG show, let me know in the chat. Uh, so I want to just get back into the book stuff, especially the High Republic. And I just got to tell you, once again, if you are sleeping on the High Republic or you've never heard of it before, give it a try. It's just a wonderful story. I know John thought Light of the Jedi was just okay, which is fine. I personally loved it. The Rising Storm is a better sequel to it. A Test of Courage from Justina Ireland was fantastic. Into the Dark is great, especially with Geode the Rock in it. So actually, let me go to the High Republic stuff real quick because they actually have some really cool stuff with it. So we actually have a High Republic galley or gallery here. Let me go to the live share here, our live scene. So this person here is Vernestra Rowe. She is a newly minted Jedi Knight. She actually goes through her Jedi trials in a test of courage. Her purple lightsaber here is also used as a whip, which is pretty cool. This is the Republic Fair poster from the Rising Storm. Once again, Lena So invites you to the Republic Fair for the spirit of unity. This is just the High Republic crawl. So this is the crawl for Phase 2. The galaxy celebrates with the dark days of the hyperspace disaster behind them. Chancellor Lena So pushes ahead with the latest of her great works. The Republic Fair will be her finest hour, a celebration of peace and unity and hope on the frontier world of Valo. But an insatiable horror appears on the horizon. One by one, planets fall as the carnivorous Drengir consume all life in their path. As Jedi Master Avar Kriss leads the battle against this terror, Nihil forces gather in secret for the next stage of Marky and Ro's diabolical plan. Only the noble Jedi Knights stand in Ro's way, but even the protectors of light and life are not prepared for the terrible darkness that lies ahead. So this is Sylvestri here. She is going to be in Justina Ireland's Out of the Shadows. This is uh, Bogaranth. I think this is from the Rising Storm, I believe. This is Affie Hollow. She's from Into the Dark, Claudia Gray's novel. Let's see here. This is Comac Vitus. He is a Jedi Master and folklorist. He was in Claudia Gray's novel Into the Dark. This is Orla Jareni. She's a Jedi Wayseeker, hence why she wears white. She has a double-bladed white lightsaber. And she acts independent of the council, but she's still a member of the Order, and she's trying to find her way in the Jedi Order. That's her cloaked. This is Lily Toraasi. She is the main character in Justina Ireland's manga. That's her with the cloak. Uh, that is Jedi Master. Oh, I think that's Elzar Mann there. Yeah, I think that's Elzar Mann. There's Lily, and there's Buryaga, the Wookiee Jedi. There's Ram Jamaram, the main character in Race to Crash Point Tower. Uh, here's Leox Jossi. He is pretty much 90s McConaughey in Star Wars, and he's actually the first asexual character in Star Wars history, which is pretty cool. This is Ty Yorick. She is a former Jedi turned monster hunter. These are the Bon Brax. These little guys help Ram Jamaram in Race to Crash Point Tower, and they are some of the fun characters. These are members of the Nile. So you see they have these gas masks and weapons and everything. These are more members of the Nile. Here's Marky and Rowe with his signature mask and his energy weapon. This is the Drengir, the carnivorous plants steeped in the dark side of the Force. This is Reith Silas. He is the main character in Into the Dark. He actually eventually becomes Comac Vitus's apprentice, and he wants to be a Jedi archivist. Here's Bel Zettifar and his Charhound Ember. They debuted in Light of the Jedi, and they are frequently used in The Rising Storm. Here's Buryaga. He is the Jedi Wookiee, and you can see he has a crossguard lightsaber. So, there's a few others, but I won't get into too much detail here. But yeah, I just wanted to just do the show this week and hang out with you guys for a little bit and talk Star Wars and the High Republic and announce our RPG show. So that's pretty much going to be it for this week. If, like I said, if you want to play the RPG, reach out to us on Twitter, email the show. That's starlightbeacontransmissions at gmail.com. And yeah, that is going to be it for us this week, or for me this week, I should say. But as always, I just wanted to say, uh, may the Force always be with you. May you always fight for light and life. And just remember that at the end of the day, except for John, we are all the Republic. That's going to do it for us. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and we will see you all next week for our live show. We will